the venue that they didn't like that made them not play well, right? And does that affect play conditions more than like, you know, the things that are happening online? Early 2022. Like, it's really hard, right? Like, in the long term of things, like yeah, like beating Hungrybox right now doesn't really feel legit, but like Zane, like, I don't think you can really phase out what Zane has done. I think, and I think that's like really the tough part, right? Is how do we subjectively say like how much things are worth? And I think that's like a hard discussion to have. Like our Zanes, and it kind of gets into this weird thing of this is like you know this, right, Nico, like of like, oh, like Mango lost, he must have not been trying, and like imagine like how invalidating that feels, right? Like you're Azul and like everyone's like telling you like, oh yeah, like you won this set, but if this was land, like Hungrybox would have beat you, right? Like that, I think to me that feels like really bad to like say to like people who are showing up and doing stuff, is like, oh, like yeah, you may have beat him here, but we know that Hungrybox would have whooped you, like if he like tried, right? Or like if Isaiah tried, he would have beat you. And I think that's what will be like a consequence of all this. Oh god. Right, it's Schrodinger's wins. If a player wins, they're really good, but if they lost, it's because they didn't try. God. Yeah, but like if you made a count for, if everyone treated land like, it's kind of the chicken or the egg, right? And I don't know the answer to this question. Like, what if we did put a lot of merit on, you know, and we incentivize, and said, you know, yo, all this stuff matters a lot. Then wouldn't Hungrybox try more? Like, what you? It's hard for me to really see that, like, he would still be playing Minecraft, right? Yeah, but, I mean, I think the hard part here is, like, yeah, like, there were a lot of invalidating moments, but on the flip side, it's like, how many sets real life do we go, oh, this guy was sick because he traveled, or this guy had, a red eye, so he couldn't play in optimal position, like, conditions, right? Like, it happens both ways, right? And it's hard to, like, really acknowledge that, right? Like, had, like, a player didn't get red eye, right, and didn't have any sleep, like, would they have played a lot better? I think that's, like, the hard... Like, there were so many IRL sets that, like me knowing what happened to, like, the player, like they were in a very handicapped space, to perform well. The other part is, like, how many times has a top player not had a setup to warm up on? Before the tournament set, where like they're like, okay, like I don't have a setup to play on, right? So we're not even getting like a lot of conditions where like players get to play optimally, or player has been out for like 11 hours straight. Like, are they gonna really play well at the end of a really long day like that? I don't think so. Like, we already have a lot of subpar conditions for LAN events. That, like, it's like, are we actually getting, like, the best level of play from both players? Again, I'm playing mega devil's advocate here. Like, Nico, I totally, like, see what you're saying, and I largely agree with you, but I'm just presenting, like, different arguments. Yeah, so, like, what I'm saying is that, like, overall, like, there are a lot of conditions that I think a lot of people ignore from playing, like, I think people, like, LAN events are seen with these rose-tinted glasses right now, like as if like it's like the perfect conditions, right? And I feel like the moment we go to a LAN event, like there's gonna be everyone's gonna complain. Yeah, I mean I agree. Dirty four wider. He actually made four wide. He actually made four wide work in this game. Four wide's actually significantly worse in Tetra.io. Yeah. So yeah, I largely agree with you. Yeah, I think part of it is like we just kind of have to accept like this is like the hand we're dealt, and I think we do like as a scene. I think it's like actually really good, right? That we fight for the purity of competition. I don't think that's a bad thing at all, right? And these kind of arguments are actually like really healthy to have because it really explores like what do we value as a community, like what do we value as like what are our metrics for success as a community, like as a player. Like I think these questions are like really important to like ask ourselves, right? Like because like this also funnels into gameplay, right? Like when we create rule sets, we ask ourselves like is something ban worthy, right? And to answer those questions we have to go take a step back and go like what do we value as like skill in the game, right? Like if high roll were available, that stage values like how well you can circle camp, right? And is that a skill that we value in like our notions of like what melee is? Probably not. So I think it's like important, right? I mean, in the end, like, don't we just all want to go to events and play DDR? I mean, that's what I want to do. I'm so screwed. DDR. I fucking choked it. I'm so mad. If I lost that, that would have been so bad. I need to stop swearing though. Okay, yeah, there's no problem. I think like it's like important to like think about. So yeah. And I think people should, you know, argue like what they believe in, right? And talk about it. So, like, I'm okay with like talking about stuff. Like, all right, have a good one. I am so bad. And that somehow ended up working for me. Ah. Blue Gallade. Yeah, that was pretty good. Seems like I'm getting faster. I'm getting like 1.7 pieces, which is like pretty nice. I thought I would teaspoon double there. Oh my gosh, that is... I misread that situation. I thought that was a teaspoon double. And that's why, like, I just misread what was gonna happen. It's probably rough to keep climbing. Can I come back? Am I gonna make it back? Jeez. All right. I messed up again so hard. What's up? What's up, YZZ? What is up with it? It's so risky to go for ST. ST. Yeah, because the garbage is like instant, so like you're always at a liability, especially like against like really fast opponents. I mean, it could be a fun like strat that you do. All clears 10 plus 10. So one thing, so in the Armada Mango thing, like I think, like Mango, like candidly was being a little bit of a dick, but I don't know, like similar to like sports, like if you're on the sidelines and you're commenting on like how bad like current players are, or like I don't know, like in sports that happens a lot with like basketball especially, is like the old legends saying like, oh yeah, like the current players aren't good, or like I don't know if like you really have a right to speak, you know, if you're the one that's on the retirement. And I think, well, I guess like they have a quote unquote a right to speak, but it's often in like poor taste, like really go like, yeah, like it's not that, like like making claims that like insinuate that it's like, oh yeah, the current players aren't that good. And often it's a semantical argument, right? Because like I think what people are misconstruing is what like Armada means when he says the meta doesn't evolve. Like of course like the like level of play like Zane has like improved dramatically, right? I'm probably gonna die here. Oh, I'm safe. Like, I think Armada's point is like there's not like overwhelmingly like new things that are happening. I think we would all agree that the gameplay like that we're seeing in Melee right now is cleaner, right? Top players are like not making as many mistakes, and they're playing overall cleaner and like a bit faster, right? Is anything being presented new though? And I think that's like the crux of what our motto was trying to say, is that there isn't things that are terribly new. And if that was like what Armada meant in the end, I can agree with that. Yeah, but like Falcon's getting better may not be because the meta is changing. It's just the overall gameplay is being better, right? And I think the way that Armada construes the word meta is that there's like new things being being added to the game that we've never seen before, right? And that might be Armada's definition of meta. Just because a person's like, and if those Falcon players are beating Hungrybox now, but like they're not adding new techniques, they're just playing cleaner. Like, I don't really necessarily say like, I don't think you can necessarily have to call that a meta change. People playing cleaner, like meta change would be like when shield dropping got implemented, right? And like that changed the entire dynamics of how Melee played. That was a really big thing that was being added, right? However, I will say this, right? Zane is adding a lot to his gameplay. Mango's adding a lot to his Falco. IBDW's zoning patterns are very different. So I think there are like little things being added to the gameplay, and to say that there's zero changes is wrong. The flip side of it is Armada doing the Armada Shine and comboing like a certain way. Like that's like hardly new. It's like little minor changes. I remember Armada and Left would be like, yeah, we're changing the Fox meta, right? And that's, I think if Armada were to use that same definition to like say like, oh yeah, this is the way like I'm pushing the Fox meta. All the Foxes suck, and look at what I'm doing. Before me, like, I mean, Armada like added cleanness, and he did add little things, but like it wasn't a dramatic change. He was just cleaner, right? But if he's saying that like what he did to Fox was revolutionary and changed the Fox meta, then I would have to say that under that same lens and that same apples to apples comparison, then yes, the meta is changing, right? If we are using that consistent definition. You need to learn melee. Six Sigma to melee. Uh... Alright, let's go. Lean melee. I'm back in double S.